What you know, Alibis? Welcome to another episode of Pretty Lies and Alibis. I'm Gigi. Good to have you here. It's Monday, July 7th. This is the first week in a while where I'm going to have a normal week here at home with episodes coming out hopefully every day, catching up on all the cases we've been following. Since the end of April, I've traveled to Arizona twice for Lori Daybell's 2 trials. Then I had some family things to take care of and just got back from a week at the beach with my youngest, who turned 14 while we were down there, and 4 of our best friends, along with Fruit Loop and Brienne, had a blast. But it really feels good to be back in my studio playing catch up on the cases that we've been covering that I honestly have not had time to update on. So some of this stuff is not new news, but it is to me because I haven't even had time to follow these cases over the last few months, just trying to stay on top of everything before Donna Adelson's trial starts on August 19th. Moving back just a bit, she was moved from the Leon County Jail in June to the Wakulla County Jail at the request of her defense team. This new facility is about 20 miles away, and the move did not require approval from the judge. Well, why was she moved? The Leon County Jail changed their policies regarding inmate tablets being available to inmates who were being housed in protective and administrative confinement. And the reason for that, the jail says, is abuse of the tablets as well as overcrowding. Donna's attorney said that was hindering her ability to prepare for trial. They said while she was at the Leon County Jail, she was only allowed out of her cell for 20 minutes on Tuesdays and Thursdays, an hour on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and not at all on the weekends. When this first happened, I got a lot of messages saying Donna's out on bond, so I rushed over to the internet, but it was just that transfer. You know, I kind of think that Donna's trial is going to look a little different than Charlie's, although it's much of the same evidence. In a filing by the defense, it says between April 7th of this year and April 30th, the state dumped more than 160,000 emails and disclosed they had conducted an entirely new investigation, engaged in controlled calls, sought and obtained wiretaps, search warrants, and phone records. So clearly, something new in all this discovery. We will see what happens at trial. Speaking of trial, Donna is still trying to get a change of venue. And in a hearing last month, an expert witness who also worked on the Brian Kohberger case testified about the reasons why, in his opinion, she cannot get a fair trial in Leon County. His name is James Todd Murphy. He is the president of TrueScope, which is a media monitoring and analysis company. He testified that he found more than 2,800 stories published and estimated that each resident of Leon County had the chance to see these stories hundreds of times. Now, of all the podcasts and social media dedicated to this case, he estimates there's been over 90 million impressions, which in turn is a risk that potential jurors could hear about this case before trial. A prosecutor, Kappelman, argued moving the trial is not going to stop pretrial publicity. She said nobody's going to start a riot based on Donna Adelson's verdict, whichever way it goes. We have successfully selected 3 prior juries under similar circumstances with similar media attention. Now, Donna's attorneys have proposed Miami as an alternative location. They say the population is 450% bigger than Leon County, and as we know, that's Donna's old stomping grounds and Harvey still living in Miami. Just last week, on July 2nd, there was a filing of a defendant's notice of filing a supplemental affidavit in support of the motion for change of venue. That document right now not available on the website, so we can't dive into that, but I'll keep an eye out. The judge will issue a written ruling when he makes a decision. Kind of think it's going to stay right there in Leon County, but we will see. In other news, an appellate court upheld Katie Magbanua's conviction. She was found guilty in 2022 and sentenced to life in prison. You guys remember, she rejected a plea deal that would have had her serving no prison time, but she rejected it. I would imagine kicking herself hard because eventually she gave a proffer. A jailhouse informant said Donna offered to pay for testimony that was favorable to her. Now, these claims have been investigated by the FBI, Leon County, and the state. The defense pointed out the person who is the informant has a lengthy criminal record, including felony convictions that relate to dishonesty. The prosecution filed an affidavit that says overlapping communication records between Harvey, cell phones belonging to two members of Donna's defense team, as well as meetings between Donna and her lawyers at the Leon County Jail, alleges that Donna called Harvey using her attorney's phones to avoid that pesky recording of the calls in jail in order to make arrangements to tamper with witnesses. Ultimately, no charges were filed against Donna. Just a few days ago, there was a filing outlining the 133 pieces of evidence prosecutors intend to present at Donna's trial. Let's go through those. There are 3 photos from the Geiger residence. I believe that might be a neighbor, and I may have butchered that name. Apologies if I did. There is a still photo from the bus. In previous trials we have seen, they show the getaway car after the murders from a camera from a city bus. Photos from the scene include from the street, from the garage to the driveway, glass in the driver's side window and the exterior, photo of the car in the garage, cell phone and glasses on the floor of the garage, car seats in Dan's car, photos of his eyeglasses, lens, wallet and contents, exterior and interior photos of the hole in the window, photos of Wendy's car, the driver's side, and the front seat, including whiskey and a receipt for that whiskey. If you remember, she went and bought Bullet Bourbon that same day. As far as victim photos, the left arm, autopsy photos, including x-rays of his front and side, the identification photo, left side of the face and neck, forehead, left eye, left forearm, projectiles from the left side of the head and the right side of the brain, photos of Wendy and Katie on the beach, Charlie and Katie at sunset, still photos from the ATM after the murder showing Rivera and Garcia between 6:45 and 6:47 p.m., a group photo of Garcia, Rivera, Katie, and Rivera's girlfriend Jessica, photos of Garcia and Rivera, another of them on motorcycles, a photo with the motorcycles in a Monte Carlo, the Prius used in the murders, and then 2 rods showing trajectory. That's from when Sigfredo discharged the weapon in the Prius, and another photo showing that when he did that, he separated the gas line. Photos of the Lexus that was given to Katie. The state will also have demonstrative exhibits of who's who, iPhone contacts for Donna, Harvey, and Charlie, Wendy's cell phone contact name for Dan, which was a slur, Wendy's call log and voicemail log, Wendy and Dan's divorce filings, 2 photos from Sigfredo's Facebook, pawn shop tickets, emails, traffic tickets for Rivera and Garcia, Save Gas 2/hybrid records. That's probably going to be for that rental. Adelson Institute records, Lexus DMV records for the car Katie was driving, Sigfredo's Nissan, motorcycles, as well as the contracts when those were purchased, GPS, communication records summary, coastal masonry records, doctor's records, dermatology records, financial records for Rivera and Garcia, purchases made after the murder. And then for Rivera, banking patterns and an overdraft graph. For Katie's accounts, multiple accounts summaries and charts, employment timeline, checks from the Adelson Institute, breast surgery payment, and income sources between the years of 2013 and 2016. Also for Katie, cash deposits from 2013 to 2016 with graphs, cash deposits and income from Adelson-related sources, employment timelines combined with cash deposits and the key dates from that 2013 to 2016 with graphs as well, and cash deposits after Katie requested money from Charlie. As far as the Adelson financials, a total accounts balance chart, their investment account totals, financial text messages, and checks to Katie from the Adelson Institute. For documents, we have the flyer from the bump as well as the letter, a wire call summary, Celebrate extracts, scanned copy of the Bernhardt script. Now, I've tried to find out who this Bernhardt person is. Not much is known. Some believe it could be an informant, but nothing for sure about who this Bernhardt is. Also, there are recorded calls from this Bernhardt person from this year, and also an art piece was given to this person. Known handwriting sample from Donna's planner, and a map of Dan's residence. Audio and video, there is the 911 call, videos of Dan entering and leaving the gym, video clips from the city bus that caught the Prius on camera, call detail records for Rivera, Garcia, Wendy, Donna, Charlie, Harvey, Katie, and Dan. Back to 2016, we have the wire calls, including employee of the Adelson Institute, Erica Johnson, calling Charlie to say the FBI was in the office. There are cell tower dumps from T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, and Sprint. There is the video of Garcia and Rivera at the ATM after the murder. Bank records for Rivera, Garcia. Katie had 2 bank accounts, the Adelson Institute, Charlie, and Charlie's American Express transactions. As far as videos, there are 2 from the bump, and then we have the Dolce Vita video and audio recordings. Surveillance photo of Charlie and Donna at Monty's, the Dolce Vita composite, wire calls between Charlie and someone. Those are gel calls. As far as physical evidence, we have the eyeglass frame that was found in the front passenger floorboard, another part of the frame from the garage floor, the eyeglass lens that was found in the driver's floorboard, the eyeglass lens piece that was in the driver's seat, Dan's wallet and its contents, window glass, a projectile from the left side of Dan's head, and then another from the general head area. Also, the Vietnam visas for both Donna and Harvey, a painting that was given to this Bernhardt person, a who's who and a who's who with financial, a list of code words, Charlie and Katie's communications, wire slides, and then a general timeline. So, going to be interesting to see what is new in this trial. Clearly, we're going to have some new stuff with this newer investigation. And again, if this does not get moved, and I kind of doubt it will, that trial will begin August 19th. And I'm hoping to go down for some of the testimony in person. One of my favorite things is going to these trials and being able to be there in person to bring you what's happening inside the courtroom, things you can't see on the live feed, but I will be live streaming this trial every day. So when it does start, come watch with us. We got a busy week catching up on all these cases that we've been following. I still have another episode for Corey Richens. I did do the episode a week and a half ago with the 26 new charges. So if you haven't watched that, check it out. It's on YouTube and the audio version. And then some filings that are a bit older, but I have not gone over. So that's it for today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your afternoon and evening, and we will see you soon.